morning. Thank you for attending our Success Program series today. Joanne Colella with Colella Communications will be sharing her wisdom with us this morning. At this time, I would like to introduce Joanne Colella with Colella Communications. Joanne is the founder and owner of Colella Communications, providing copywriting, editing, and graphic design services to a wide range of businesses and organizations. She will be speaking this morning about core values, mission statements, vision statements, what they are, and why they matter. Joanne's professional career in communications started at the world-famous Madison Square Garden in New York City, where she helped establish the first in-house advertising department before taking a position working with the creative teams at a New York City advertising agency. Joanne went on to provide freelance writing and editing services for numerous organizations and businesses, authored a weekly newspaper column, and wrote hundreds of feature articles and press releases for community publications. She ultimately became the longtime editor-in-chief of 5 regional monthly magazines in central New Jersey. In 2018, Joanne launched Colella Communications to offer her experience and expertise as a professional copywriter and editor to local, national, and international clients and projects. The Colella Communications tagline is, "When every word matters," because she believes it's not just what you say, but how you say it to effectively market your business or share your message in a personal way. Her goal is to create engaging and uplifting online and print content to increase awareness, attendance, involvement, fundraising, and sales to help her clients succeed. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Joanne and her husband Frank raised their 3 grandchildren in New Jersey and have now added a son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and 2 beautiful grandchildren to the family tree. After more than 30 years of visiting and loving Arizona, Joanne and Frank headed west and became full-time residents of Fountain Hills in 2021, where they love every minute of living, working, and volunteering in the community. Help me welcome Joanne.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. All right, well, I already accomplished my vision statement for the morning, and that was to get the video to work. So thank you to everyone that was involved in that mission statement. Questions for you. Where are you going? That's your vision statement. How are you going to get there? That's your mission statement. And what matters to you and to those around you as you go? Those are your core values. That in a nutshell are the 3 themes of today. Core values, vision statements, mission statements. What they are, why they matter. These are very common terms that you may be familiar with now. They've become key phrases. There are vision boards. There are business vision statements, mission statements. But these concepts have been around your entire life. By nature, I'm a storyteller. So, I want to try and make relatable how they overlap and how they align in various ways. Since this is a Success Factor series presentation, they align, they overlap, they build upon each other to create your success. They're all factors. But let's start at the beginning. Once upon a time, every kid hears this question. Maybe you've asked this question to the kids in your life, your children, your grandchildren. Think way back when people would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember?
I'm still asking.
Some of you might not have grown up yet. I know at least one in the room who hasn't. That, even at that age, was a vision statement. It was the aspiration you had. It's what you envisioned. It was your ultimate long-time goal, projecting years into the future. And after all the grown-ups asked you the question, what was the next thing that they did? They started to give you advice, what you needed to do. Well, if you want to be an astronaut, you're going to have to take action. You needed to prepare. You needed to study and practice and rehearse all the things you needed to do to build upon your path to that vision. That, even at a young age, was a mission statement. So fast forward to now. We're all at least somewhat grown up. Close your eyes for a minute and think to yourself, failure was not an option and the possibilities were endless. What would be your ultimate vision? What would you want your business or your nonprofit, your organization to become? And you can think as big as you want. This is your ultimate. Anyone willing to volunteer? Or maybe we start, what were some of the things you wanted to be as a kid? How much did it change?
I wanted to be a cat doctor, but I'm allergic to cats, so.
That's a problem.
But it's a cat doctor.
That's a problem, okay.
I wanted to be a nurse, but I hate the sight of blood.
That's a problem too.
I wanted to be an elementary school teacher because I love children, but then I realized I wanted to be more money. I just couldn't fit that.
Okay. But you're still a teacher. You're still a teacher. So when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a writer. And I always say I'm one of those very lucky people who got to grow up to be what she wanted to be. I didn't know how I'd use it, but I wanted to be a writer. So now if you apply vision statements to your business, they're still future-based. They're meant to inspire. Inspire you, inspire your clients, inspire your team, if you have staff, if you have colleagues, if you have management. And when used properly, they give everyone direction. So you're all working towards the same goal. And they're designed to bring everyone together. The important part is deciding what they are and sharing them, either internally and or externally. Because your vision statements and your mission statements and your core values, they're also going to determine not only what's right for you, but what's not right for you. Who and what you are going to be aligned with, that's going to be a perfect match. Not everyone has the perfect client. Not everyone is the perfect partner in business, and this will help you decide. Microsoft, I thought this was interesting. Microsoft's original vision statement, way back when, was to have a computer on every desk and in every home. That's an example of a big vision statement. This was in the infancy of the internet and computers. I'd say they did a pretty good job of fulfilling that vision. But success is different for everyone. Now I knew coming here today that we're all small business owners and we're local nonprofits, grassroots or organizations. Not everyone's vision for success is going to be the same. And that's okay. Is biggest always the best for you? I know this may be a bit of blasphemy, but a lot of times when you go to coaching sessions and they say to come up with a vision statement, say, think big. The world is, the possibilities are endless. Think global. That's fantastic. Microsoft did it, but maybe that's not what you want. You are the one who knows how to do what you love and love what you do. And your goals and your visions are going to be different. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, now you all have the theme song in your head, right? Dum, 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 dum. I wish I could do audio on this. So, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take action and to make that vision possible. That's the difference. Vision is what you're thinking and dreaming of. Mission is the action you're taking to make it happen. When you're putting together a business mission statement, It's in the present, or in the near present. It's what your company is currently doing to reach the vision you decided upon. It will tell how you're doing it, where you're doing it, why you're doing it, and who you're serving. So, for Guardian training, your vision statement may be to train people well in safety and self-defense. That may be a vision statement. But your mission statement is, what are you doing to make that happen? You're giving classes, you're giving personal training, you're meeting with people, you're giving presentations. Those are the steps that you're doing along the way to make the vision happen. And when you put together your mission statement, these are some of the details that you may explain along the way. And the briefer, the better. If you think back to when you were a kid and people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You didn't give them a dissertation when you were 6 years old. You just said, I want to be an NFL football player, or I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a doctor. It was concise, it was to the point. You knew what you wanted to do. Recipe for success. These are various components that will help you enact your mission statement. It takes teamwork. Now, some of you may be solopreneurs, so it's just you, me, myself, and I. But you may have partners, you may have employees, you certainly have clients, maybe you have investors. Research. If you're going to make this happen, you need to know what you're dealing with. You need to know your own product. You need to know what services you can provide. What's the market like? What is the need that's out there? So who is your target audience? There's no sense trying to reach a target that isn't in alignment with your vision statement. If you know someone is just not going to be interested in your product or your service, that's not a match. And preparation. Your knowledge base. You need to know what you're doing inside and out. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Not everyone is good at everything, and you need to recognize that and play upon your strengths. You need to know what materials and supplies and resources you're going to need to make it happen. If you're selling widgets, you need to have the materials to put together your widgets. If you are a teacher, you need to have your educational materials prepared. Once you have all that in place, this is your action plan, and it builds upon itself. It's a staircase. So first you come off with a strategy. All right, how are we going to do this? We need to get from point A to point B. But you have to break it up into little chunks. You're not going to do it all at once. It's steps. So first you determine, okay, what are the goals? It could be big, it could be small, incremental along the way. Each one of those goals are going to have milestones, and they can be small. If you think in terms of just personal objectives you may have. I spoke about this at a recent Toastmasters meeting. My husband and I recently went on a hike up in Sedona. Our vision statement that day was to get to the end of a particular trail that we had never hiked before. We knew the view we wanted to see, we knew where it was. That was our vision statement. Our mission statement, the things we did to prepare for it, we were in shape, we had our hiking poles, we had our water, we had our backpacks, we were dressed appropriately for the wet weather, we were prepared. And we set off. Along the way we hit different plateaus, different milestones. Okay, let's get to that ridge. Okay, let's get to that tree line. And we were able to time how we were able to do it. We paced ourselves out. That's a very small microcosm of an example, but nonetheless, that's how things like this break down. And then action plans. You have all of that in place, now implement it. You know what you want to do and you know how you want to do it. Just go for it. So you've got the process, priorities, projects, scheduling things out, what achievements you want, and recognizing what achievements you reach, and a timeline. What about core values. In some ways, this should come first. This is the heart of everything you do. It's your guiding light. It influences all your decisions, how you conduct your business, how you establish relationships with your coworkers, your employees, your clients, the public. Your core values impact everything. And most importantly, they impact your reputation. In a nod to the Southwest, since we all live and work here, I've always loved this. And I think this is a great example of core values. This is called the Cowboy Code. There are a few varieties of it, but I think this is the basic one. And this can be applied to your personal life and your professional life. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Be tough, but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more.
That's it.
Remember, some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. I just think this is an awesome code. And when it comes to core values, this is basically how you'll be remembered. On the personal side, as morbid as it may sound, think ahead to a day many years from now, and someone will be reading your obituary. What are they going to say about you? What is going to come shining through in what is written about you? Are people going to remember you for being kind and thoughtful and volunteer and loving and family-oriented, or are they going to remember you for something else? So this is the professional side of your legacy. Everyone here probably either already has Google reviews, or you certainly want to have Google reviews. If you're not asking your clients for Google reviews, you should. And these are the kinds of things that you would hope would come out in those reviews. If you think about it, when you search for other businesses, if you need something repaired in your house, or you want to shop for a product, or you're looking for a store, what's one of the first things you do? You look them up online, and you check their Google reviews. So if you need some help in trying to figure out what your own core values should be, think first about what you look for in other people's reviews, because that will give you a hint of what's really important to you. And you're probably going to want to be client-focused, ethical, respectful, have integrity, trusted, team-focused, honest, friendly, professional. I'm sure there's other things too. Fair pricing, great customer service, all kinds of things. And what, aside from this list, what are some of the other things that you look for, or that you take pride in, that you're already doing? Anything that jumps out at you?
Quick follow-up.
Dependable.
Dependable.
Transparency.
Transparency. Yeah.
Punctual.
Punctual. Punctual.
Efficient.
Efficient. So these are all the things that you look for, and they're the things that you take pride in. Make them your core values. And remind yourself, okay, this is the way I want to do things. This is the way I want my team to do things. Many a company has started out over the years with wonderful core values and what wonderful mission statements, and then somewhere along the way they ran off the rails. Sometimes they lost sight of what their values were. Sometimes there was a rogue employee that lost sight of the values. Some people get so focused on what they want their end goal to be that they feel the end justifies the means. And that's not always the case. You can. Three Stooges had to put it up there. Will you be Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, attorneys at law? Or, my favorite movie at this time of year, It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey, looking at the picture of his dad, Peter, and Peter's line was, all you can take with you is that which you've given away. And if you remember the final scene of that movie, which always makes me cry right on cue, when they have the party and the crowd comes into the house and George's brother raises his glass and salutes his brother George, the richest man in town, because his vision was not to run a conglomerate. At the end of the day, it was to be a small business, helping the families and the other businesses in town, and he did it, following his core values. So, how we figured out core values, mission statement, vision statement. Where are we going to use these? Why do they make a difference? All kinds of ways. If you look at the websites of any variety of businesses, somewhere in the About page, you may or may not see their mission statement, their vision statement. Sometimes it's made public, sometimes it's internal. It's in HR materials, in your marketing materials. It may be in part of the narrative that you share. Certainly in employee handbooks. Anyone has a handbook for their staff. Press information. If you're putting out an article about something that you've done, having been on the editorial side of press, there are purely business news articles, and there are advertorials, and there are human interest stories. Personally, when I've had a business client that wanted a story printed about what they were doing, I would always try and steer them in the direction of making at least part of it a human interest story, because that's what connects with everyone. Any company can go out there and say, we make widgets, we make green widgets and red widgets, and we make the best ones, and we're better than the competition. That's great. I have lots of choices for where I buy my widgets. But if I read about them and I see that they're involved in the community, that they have certain values, that's going to resonate, if not with me, with someone else. Again, you're not going to appeal to everyone, but that's how you're going to find your audience. Grants and other funding, particularly for nonprofits. I know the application process for grants and sponsorships can be onerous, and sometimes it's pages and pages, and they will want to know things like this. They'll want to know what your mission statement and vision statement is, what your core values are, if it's a particular kind of nonprofit, so that they know if they're a match for supporting you. Your clients will want to know this. Partners. If you're thinking of taking on a partner, if you're thinking of partnering with someone else, you want to know what they're all about. Your name is going to be on that letterhead. You want to know that you're thinking the same way. Same for investors. And at the end of the day, again, particularly if you're a small business or you're a solopreneur, it's for yourself. It's for your own focus. I know a lot of us are busy. We're busy just trying to compete day to day, stay afloat, take care of the invoicing and the actual work that needs to be done, and the communications and the emails and the social media. But there's a difference between being busy and running in circles, or being busy and moving forward. And sometimes if you just have this in front of you, it's a good reminder, wait a minute, why am I doing all of this again? Not just to make myself crazy all day. So the overall picture, there's your roadmap. Summarizes it all. Vision statement, it's the big picture of where you want to go. The mission statement is what you are doing to get there. And core values is how you're behaving along the way. Now, a lot of this is going to have twists and turns. It's not always going to be a forward path. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. But if you keep the focus, you will eventually get there. I gave out to all of you a couple of pages that I thought maybe we could use as an exercise today. The first page is some examples. And there are, just so you know, there is a wealth of information out there. If you just Google how to write a mission statement, how to write a vision statement, how to determine core values, there are a lot of websites out there that are just wonderful. And they have downloadable sheets, downloadable tables that can generate all kinds of ideas. But these are some of the examples that popped up on one of the favorite sites that I have found. And it shows how these vision and mission statements don't have to be long. They're concise and to the point. The BBC, right, they actually have a kind of in backwards order here. I put the vision statement first. Their vision was to be the most creative company in the world. That's big and broad. Their mission, what they're doing to make that happen, to act in the public interest. They serve all audiences through providing impartial, high-quality, distinctive input and services that inform, educate, and entertain. That is what's going to lead them to that vision. IKEA. Has anybody here assembled IKEA furniture? To create a better everyday life for many people. To do that, they offer a wide range of well-designed, functional home furnishings at low and accessible prices. That's concise, it's to the point, and that really is what they do. Southwest Airlines, God bless them, they've had a lot of problems lately, but to become the world's most loved, most flown, and most profitable airline. They connect people to what's important through friendly, reliable, and low-cost air travel. Those are the steps they are taking. Hasbro, it's Christmas time, everyone needs to shop for toys. To make the world a better place for all children, fans, and families, they create the world's best play and entertainment experiences. Google, where would we be without Google? To significantly improve the lives of as many people as possible. To do that, they make things universally accessible and useful, and organizes the world's information. Google and Alexa, I couldn't live without either one of them. And VMware, to build a sustainable, equitable, and more secure future for all. And they use disruptive technologies like edge computing, AI, blockchain, machine learning, Kubernetes, and more. So they're brief, they're all brief, but if you think about any of these companies, they make sense. They're doing what they say they want to do. They're making it happen. The sheets after that, now you have some examples. First sheet is how to write a mission statement. The next is vision statement. Again, this is the order that it was printed, but I might go in the opposite order. And core values. If you want to design your mission statement, describe your overall purpose and objective as an organization. But it's in the present, it's what you're doing now. So what is your intent right now? What are you trying to accomplish? What makes you different from everyone else? There's got to be something that sets you apart. What's the essence of what you're trying to achieve? And with those thoughts in mind, what are a few 1 or 2 line versions of what you might make your mission statement? For vision statement, this describes how the world will look if you achieve your vision, your mission. So what's your impact? What is your final impact at the end of all this? And think aspirationally here, big picture, your ideal achievement. What role in the world do you want your organization to play? What is the idealized future state that you want to create? For Jeff, it might be people who have secure homes, know that they can go away on vacation or snowbirds and know that their home and their belongings are safe. For Karen, people know how to defend themselves, know how to protect their property. For Brenda, people always look their best, feel confident, feel beautiful. How will people live differently if your organization is successful? And then you can draft a few ideas. And for core values, these are the principles at the end of all of this. How are you going to act when you do this? I remember back in New Jersey, there was a very, very successful real estate agent. He was a multimillionaire, easily. He sold all kinds of properties. But whenever people talked about him, there was always this little asterisk. And people would say he would sell the rug out from under his own mother to make a sale. His core values were a little questionable. But your core values, they're the principles that will guide everything. So what values are most important to you when you look for them in other people, when you look for them in the way you operate? How do you think you demonstrate them? People surely have either given you reviews or they've complimented you. What is something recurring that you hear from people about the way you do business that they appreciate? That means it's working. And the possibilities are endless. Again, on websites, if you call up, show me list of business core values. I wanted to print out some of them, but I would have run out of computer ink before I was finished. I mean, there's hundreds.
And they're on the wall behind you as well.
And yes, here you go. So teamwork, responsibility, skill, helping, mentoring, solve, achieve, prevent. This is amazing. There you go. There's core values. So, which actually reminds me, I always give credit where credit is due at any chamber event. The Chamber of Commerce here is hands down, in my opinion, one of the shining examples of an organization that has enacted core values, mission statement, and vision statement. Amen. This is, I'm sure somewhere along the way, that vision was to be the biggest, fastest growing, most popular Chamber of Commerce in the state of Arizona. Maybe there was a time that predates me being here where people may have laughed at that idea. In the 2.5 years that I have lived here, and from what I've heard from other people, the race to make that happen has been absolutely astounding. And the mission statement steps that have been taken, this is one of them. Holding success factors, holding the 5 o'clock mixers, and go on and on, the lunch and learns, everything. Those are all part of the mission process. And the core values come through all the time, including this morning with all the help I got making this television work. So maybe take a few minutes to look at these sheets if you want to jot some ideas down, and maybe we can share a bit.
Do that extra sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Chris, you that one. I'll give her mine. I'll pick one up at the end. Yeah.
And again, that notion of,
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
but just a little confused at, what do you start with? You start with vision and then go to mission?
I would start with vision. Like I said, the sheets happen to, on the website they gave them in that order, the order that's printed out. I would start with vision.
Vision and mission.
Start with the big picture. Because if you're writing the steps of a mission statement, but you don't know where you want those steps to lead, it kind of leaves you at a dead end. So I'd start with the vision. And again, that vision can be as big or as small, but certainly as personal as you want it to be. I mean, somebody at Microsoft started off wanting to take over the world. But a lot of small business owners, what they want is to put the food on the table. They want to put a kid through college. They want to save for a comfortable enough retirement. They want to make enough money to travel. And that's fine. You don't have to conquer the whole world. You just have to conquer your world. Another thing I think worth mentioning, whatever it is that you're writing down or thinking of, this is a fluid process. It's going to change over time. Same way, when you were 6 years old, you were thinking of what you wanted to be when you grew up. Maybe you did, but maybe you didn't, and that's okay. And things like this need to be reevaluated all along the road, because your own situations may change, the market may change, your capabilities may change, your target audience may change. So don't feel that whatever you write, oh God, I am committed to this for eternity. You're not. This is a fluid process. And if you find as you go along the path that you fail, get up, start over again, reassess. You know, back to my hiking story, which I know Kristen has heard. My husband and I got to the final destination, or close to it. There was this one outcropping of rocks overlooking the river that we desperately wanted to see. And he was a few feet in front of me. He got out on the rock and he looked and he said, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Look at this view." And I was so excited. I didn't pay attention and I stumbled and I did not clear a boulder that I had to step on, and I face planted right on the rocks. He was stunned for a minute, and he tells me that when he looked at me, I was at such a bizarre angle, he was convinced that I had broken at least one of my legs. Oh, but I didn't. I was a little bruised, and my pride was bruised, but I got up, and I brushed myself off, and I started over again. And that's exactly what your business is like. Okay. Anybody want to share a vision statement? That's it.
Fountain Hill is the most business-friendly town in our state while being community-minded and commerce-driven by 2030. That's our Chamber of Commerce vision statement. Say it again. Fountain Hills, the most business-friendly town in the state while being community-minded and commerce-driven by 2030. The most business-friendly town in the state of Arizona.
And
it's a big,
awesome.
lofty vision.
That's awesome. Thanks.
And it's been our vision since 2020.
I'd say it's going well so far. Yeah. Anybody else?
Sorry, a minute. This is my MJS vision that I have on my website. Bring value to every business I am fortunate enough to be a part of, so that businesses are able to operate more effectively, efficiently, and maximize profits.
Nice. And I've seen your presentations. They're
Vision, like that, one of my core values and buzzwords.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anybody else? One more. Okay.
Mine is a little easier because Mary Kay has it pretty much laid out. And it's just simply enriching women's lives.
That's good. Because it's big and it's broad and it can be done in a million different ways.
And
People who use the products, people who sell the products.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay. Mission statements. Has any of you been able to figure out the steps you're taking to get there? Or is that still a work in progress? Still a work in progress.
It's yours, Joanne, it's all in your resource guide. Providing effective advocacy, education, networking, and marketing to support the prosperity of local commerce and nonprofit organizations.
Nice. Okay, all right, last question. We'll go around the room. One core value. The first core value that comes into your head that you are most proud of, that you know you already hold dear. Heck.
Honesty.
Golden rule, philosophy, treating others like you want to be treated.
Nice.
Empathy.
Empathy.
Understanding our client's purpose.
Integrity.
Ooh, you just took one. Honesty.
Trust.
Giver's aim.
Nice.
Integrity is mine as well.
It's a recurring theme.
Accountability.
Nice. Compassion. Nice.
Transparency.
So those are things, if that's the first thing that popped into your head, then you know it's a significant core value. So go with it, keep going with it, and don't forget it. New Year's goals. I thought the timing of this presentation was absolutely perfect. Did you know that New Year's Day is 24 days away? Isn't that incredible? And what is the one thing that everybody does for New Year's? Make resolutions. And what is a resolution? It's your vision statement for the year. And what's the most popular one? Easy example.
Lose weight.
Lose weight. Okay, big goal, lose weight. You're not necessarily saying how much weight, you just want to lose weight. What will be the steps of your mission statement? Exercising, eating right, all the things that you would do. And then as you implement it, you've got milestones. You want to lose the first 5 pounds, you want to lose 10, you want to lose 15. All of that is a year-long vision statement. And if it doesn't work and you don't get there and you're ringing in a year next year, what are you going to do? You're either going to make the same resolution and try again, which is great, or you'll make a new resolution. So, as we head into 2024, remember, businesses need resolutions too. This is a perfect time to reassess where you want to take it by the end of next December. And if you'd like to add me to your list of to-dos and you need help putting any of this into words, this is what I do. I'm much more comfortable writing than I am speaking sometimes. But if you've got these thoughts in your head but you're not quite sure how to put them down on paper, please give me a call, send me an email, I'd be happy to help.
And I can vouch for her, she is phenomenal.
Amen. Me too.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for sharing your presentation with us today and clarifying our vision statements, mission statements. Those have always been confusing to me. I'm sure they can be confusing to you as well. How to write them based on our core values. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and challenging us in the new year.
Yay!
We have a 2-minute break before we hear Michael Maroon with Silver Tree Wealth Partners.
13 minutes.
13-minute break, thank you. Before he presents at 10 a.m., so that will kick off at 10 a.m. Please feel free to network in between, use the restrooms, grab a drink if you need to, and then we'll be back here just before 10 so we can get started. Thank you.
Thank you, awesome.